Warning, the following episode of Blackwell podcast contains hella spoilers for Life is Strange.
Hi everyone. Oh shit. Hi everyone. Oh. Fuck, Zach. God damn it. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to the Blackwell podcast, where we love Life is Strange more than Chloe doesn't want to be alone right now. I'm Jamie, joined again by Aaron.
Hello. That was terrible.
Joey.
Hi.
Sean.
Hey.
And Zach.
Yeah, your resident intro ruiner.
So, guys, nothing really happened over E3 this weekend.
Yeah, it was a bit dead.
Yeah.
Except
it was a real disappointment.
Nothing really worth talking about.
No. Just kidding. Life is Strange before the storm.
I was really hoping we'd just talk about Monster Hunter for an hour. We can do this too, though.
Yeah. The prequel for Life is Strange Season 1, which is exciting.
It's real.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just a fake, it was real.
Yeah.
It happened.
For real. In celebration of this, anytime that we're going to be talking about the prequel on the Blackwell podcast, we are going to have a new look, which is on the screen right now, if you're watching via visuals on YouTube and whatnot. So, yeah.
And if you're just listening to the audio, just pop on over. Pop on over to YouTube.
Shame
just
on
give
you
it a click.
for skipping out on that.
Jamie worked real hard on
it. It looks really
nice.
cool.
It looks just right.
Yes. I appreciate it. So basically, a little bit of context on what happened over the Microsoft panel. Basically, I can't remember what the dude's name. The guy fucking talking about 4K Xbox and One X. He basically was talking about this is where Xbox exclusives and world premieres are going to happen. Then it says world premiere, Square Enix. Then the fucking skateboard appeared from the trailer. I was like,
and I
oh
cried.
fuck.
She closed her laptop so fast.
Yeah.
No, really. I was taking a Snapchat at the point, and it's literally a Snapchat of me screaming, and I posted my story, and it just says "Life is Strange." That's all it says.
Beautiful.
I wasn't watching the conference, so my reveal came when both of the Life is Strange WhatsApp groups I'm in exploded, ours included. And everyone was freaking out.
Yeah, that's what happened for me too. I was actually driving through California, and I got a notification from Jamie saying something about the trailer. I was like, what, you mean when it's released? And he was like, it just was. And I freaking pulled over to the side of the road. Probably not the safest thing, but wow. Yeah. Crazy.
Well, at least you didn't try to watch it while you were driving.
No, safety first.
Of course.
Don't feel entitled.
I had no intention of tuning into the Microsoft conference at all, because it's just I figured the couple of things that I was tracking that they were going to talk about, I would just catch afterward. Yeah. But I was actually scrolling through Twitter, and they had the little E3 live thing that was in everybody's Twitter feed, and I saw the skateboard, and it was so weird how it was just happened to be the right, I just happened to be on Twitter at the right time, right as that was starting, and because it was a live feed.
That was exactly what happened with me with The Last of Us. So at PSX, exactly the same.
So I clicked on it because as soon as I saw the skateboard, I knew what it was, because you could tell by the art.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh boy. And so we had the big reveal trailer. And then I had to immediately take to Twitter to, actually people, that it was not Life is Strange 2.
Yeah. It's complete. We should.
But it was in fact a prequel.
Yeah, we should probably elaborate that. The people behind Before the Storm are Deck 9. And Don't Nod Entertainment, who worked on Season 1, are working on a separate Life is Strange game. So Life is Strange 2 is going to be completely separate to this game, coming out August 31st. Oh, fuck.
So wrap your head around that. We're getting 2 Life is Strange games in the near future. We didn't deserve
in
this.
2 months.
What did we do to deserve this?
I don't
Yeah.
think we deserved anything. We don't even deserve Chloe Price.
I mean, do we deserve the hurt and heartbreak it's going to give us?
No.
Yes, sure.
This
Probably.
isn't a blessing. This is a curse.
Yeah.
I told them on Twitter already. I said, you guys have full permission to rip my heart out of my chest. Just go for it.
It definitely will.
Oh, yeah.
Just from what little bit we've seen at E3,
Oh, God, I cried already so much.
it absolutely will
By
destroy
the way,
us all.
to all viewers / watchers, if you haven't seen Sean's reaction video, it's priceless.
Well, it's
No.
not
Pun
exactly
intended.
priceless.
Thank you for catching
I like that preemptive ugh.
I'm used to that. Ugh, don't worry.
I made Web cry.
So yeah, Deck 9 is a newly rebranded company.
Mm-hmm.
They were formerly
Yeah,
shit.
Idle Minds.
yeah. Idle Minds, yeah.
Idle Minds,
I
yeah.
knew it was Mind something.
They were formerly Idle Minds, who did the
Pain?
PS4. They did a game called Pain, which I am not familiar with at all.
No, me neither.
But I guess that's kind of like their big flagship. But they also did Up Your Arsenal and Ratchet and Clank 4, I believe.
Yeah.
They did some work with that on PS4. And then they have rebranded to make more story-driven, narrative-driven games.
Yep.
And they're using an engine called StoryForge. Or it's not a game engine,
It's more
because they're
of
using
a-
Unreal Engine.
Yeah, it's more of a kind of script engine.
Right. And what it allows them to do is set up the dialogue and the branching dialogue options as you would see in a script. So it makes the trees a lot more neat and able to discern through when making the game. They're also using another I believe, proprietary system, which Storyteller, in addition to StoryForge. So StoryForge is for the script. Storyteller allows them to like actively. It's literally a system of sliders, and it allows them to actively adjust emotions and such on characters' faces. So it's really interesting. There's a little bit on it. They go into it a little bit in some of their videos about Before the Storm and them being Deck 9. But so like if they feel like, you know, perhaps someone's face should convey a bit more sadness or a bit more anger for this like given scenario, there's a slider that can like adjust that accordingly. So I would really absolutely love to get my hands on that and just play around with it. Just
Everything
like
at max.
make like ridiculous like Monster Hunter-esque scenes. Or not Monster Hunter, Monster Factory.
Monster Factory, yeah.
I think Storyforge is something that I'd like to maybe play around with as well, because I feel like that definitely gives a bit more option for the amounts of ranging choices we can have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would just love to know how, like, more about how these programs work. Like, I'd love to see, like, the inner working. You saw a little bit in the dev video, but
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
So I haven't watched anything beyond the reveal trailer. So this is the first time hearing of this Storyforge thing. I think I read the name somewhere, but I had no idea what it was. So is it like a completely new engine, or is it just a program that they've like mapped onto?
Whatever, it's a
engine it's
program,
running on?
right?
Yeah. I think it's
It's a program. Yeah, it's a program that they made that allows them to set up the script, like I was saying a little bit earlier.
Right.
It allows them to set up the script in more like fluid branching trees.
Yeah.
And so it allows like callbacks to like previous dialogue choices a lot. It makes it a lot more simpler.
It's kind of like a
and-
spider diagram.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird. I wanna watch
So it from what I gathered from looking at it, it's like, you know, so for instance, like when you have dialogue trees and it's like if option A then B, if option B then C, that sort of thing. This allows callbacks to your previous choices to happen more fluidly, like for the developer on the developer side and the writer side. It allows like the callbacks to that to happen much more simply and better arranged. And so it's a very interesting tool for choice and narrative driven games. And that's kind of like their flagship as Deck 9 is like presenting this, because this will be the first time they're using it, from my understanding.
Yeah, and talking about Storyteller, with the whole emotion side of thing, they've done a really good job with the general animation and talking about like facial expressions. The lip sync is very, very good from what I've seen. Very good.
Yeah, I would venture to say better than season 1.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. The lip sync, a lot of the comments about season 1 was that the lip sync was off, but everything that I've seen, it's been pretty on point, so well done to Deck 9 for that.
Yeah, seriously. Good job, guys. And the motion capture too. I mean, we'll probably get into that later, but I think it's a lot more expressive and less like kind of robotic.
Yeah, and like the nice details on the hair, it's kind of more floppy and fluid.
Yeah.
That's good. I think if there's one thing that I think Life is Strange had in its flaw was a little bit of some rigid animations, and especially the hair. The hair was not pretty at times, but
well, yeah,
this sounds like it looks a lot better.
It was sort of stylized, like it made sense for the feel of the game. It's kind of like when you look at the trees and the leaves are just sort of like, you know, I don't even know what's
growing.
Yeah.
Growing and shrinking. Yeah, it looked nice.
It's really pretty.
I like the art style, and I think it did work with the whole aesthetic. But I definitely think that this sounds like it looks even better.
So about Before the Storm itself, it will be choice driven, with the major choices being, and I quote, determine whether Chloe is like romantically involved with Rachel or whether they're just super gal pals.
Yeah.
Which I do have a comment on, just the fact that it in the first game is kind of canon that Chloe does have those feelings for Rachel. Whether Rachel returns them is definitely a choice kind of thing, but Chloe was very, very clear about her feelings for Rachel.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you could probably rationalize it that maybe Chloe's opinion of Rachel has changed in the time she's been apart. Maybe she's sort of like grown to feel differently about her.
Yeah, that's true. You make a very good point.
Also, I think too that it's more so like the choices that you do, which we even saw in in the gameplay, which I don't want to. There are people who's like, well, okay, I'll say if you're listening to this episode on Before the Storm, we are going to be talking about what was shown at E3.
Yes.
So, if you don't want to hear about some of that stuff, this might not be an episode for you. Or if you're waiting, watch the E3 stuff first. So just again, spoiler warning that we will be talking about what was presented at E3 for Before the Storm. And some of what the developers and Life is Strange, it's like the official channels have said about it. We even see, so I think like what the choices will be is where Chloe either like conceals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was.
Or is like upfront about her feelings with Rachel.
Oh, right. So they're there either way. It's just about how she expresses it.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
That's what I've gathered.
Yeah, especially because they're talking about the E3 footage in the gameplay when you get the choice of saying something more or a friendship, and we saw that they picked a friendship. Chloe still does kind of stutter on a friendship. Maybe that's just me picking up on small things, but she does stutter a little bit on that. So,
no, I think that's true. I think you're on point. And I think it's really cool because it allows us to really explore. I mean, the whole point of it is to explore more of Chloe's character. So I think either way, whatever you choose, it's going to provide a lot of interesting backstory to Season 1.
Yeah, definitely.
And, hopefully, I think going off of what I gathered from the E3 gameplay and all that, that's what I think it is. And I like, hopefully it won't like retcon any of the canon or anything like that. So we won't know until we play it, of course, but that's kind of like what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
It takes place 3 years prior to Life is Strange Season 1, so we'll see Chloe is 16 years old.
Yep.
Rachel around the same age. 15, 16, somewhere around there. And each episode will take place over 24 hours, like the original game did. So it'll take place
over 3 days.
3 days.
Because there's 3 episodes.
Yeah,
which is insane if you like think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, even looking back at season 1, like considering that happened within the span of a week, that blows my mind.
So they've said there's a little blurb you can read on the Microsoft Store somewhere that kind of reveals a little bit more about the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about how Chloe and Rachel get embroiled in some mystery about Rachel's family, I think.
Yeah. A secret or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's what the real, like, mystery of the game is going to be. So I'm curious if the game isn't going to end with Rachel's, like, disappearance.
No.
And that maybe that's going to happen, like... Well, I guess if it's 3 years, then I guess that isn't going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be somewhere in between.
Because her disappearance happened 6 months before Season 1.
Or April.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it 6 months?
Yeah.
I always thought it was like a few weeks.
Yeah, see, I was, I don't know, I thought it was a year before, but, when I was replaying yesterday, I heard that it was 6 months, and I was like, oh, okay, I was wrong.
I guess 6 months makes a lot of sense if that's, like, the police have, like, given up on finding her at that point.
Right.
I just checked the date because I have the fucking Rachel Amber poster on the side of my PC. She was missing since April 22nd.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah. So just about.
Months.
Yeah.
So this won't. Also, they did say that Jefferson and Kate haven't even arrived at Blackwell at the point in the story. So it won't end with Rachel's disappearance, but it will end up setting up for us to know more about Rachel, and also setting up to understand Chloe and Rachel's relationship a bit better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ends with a bit of a time jump and actually does like jump forward like a few days before Max's arrival or something.
You see, that
like
was
epilogue.
That was the theory I had. That when maybe we'd see Max pulling up to Blackwell with all her stuff, and my heart's gonna break.
No.
Yep.
So we do know, and they said that there will be nothing more said about the farewell episode, other than it is the last episode with Max. I'm getting like kind of choked up just even thinking about it.
I hate it.
It is the last episode. So this is the additional episode that comes with the deluxe edition.
Yes.
It's unsure if at a later time you'll be able to purchase the episode on its own or what, but as of now, you have to buy the deluxe edition in order to get the farewell episode with Max.
Do you have to pre-order it, or is that going to be available?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
So they said that it will be very emotional and that no other information is intended to be shared.
But they did say that even though Max isn't in before the storm, that her presence will be there. As in, like, through indirect references, and like Chloe talking to her about that.
Chloe will talk about her, compare things to Max. Also, Chloe doesn't keep a diary.
Right,
Instead,
I heard about this, which sounds really cool.
Instead, she writes letters to Max that never get
Sent
sent.
letters, yeah.
So that'll be like the equivalent.
I had
of
a
Max's
thought
diary.
about this earlier. Imagine if whilst we were playing Season 1, Max found one of those unsent letters.
Nope.
Mm.
Okay. First of all, don't go there, and second of all, how dare you?
Excuse me, your intro hurt me, so this is payback.
It's payback.
First of all, how dare you?
And second of all, how dare you?
So because I haven't watched any of the gameplay beyond the announcement trailer, there's some things I want to bring up, and I want you guys to explain them to me.
Go for it.
So I know the new collectibles in the game are not photos; they're like tags and drawings that Chloe can doodle around the environment, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of her craft.
Yeah.
I know you can like change Chloe's outfit now.
Yeah.
Chloe Price dress up game.
Plus, Zach,
Thank you.
I should clarify, with the deluxe edition, I believe there is a Hot Dog Man shirt that Chloe can wear.
There is.
Worth it. And I know this is the part I'm really interested in. There's this thing called backtalk mode, or like a mechanic called backtalk, which I guess is going to be like her equivalent of it's not really a superpower, but her equivalent of like the power.
Yeah, that's kind of how she controls stuff.
It's her taunt.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Tell me how that works. If they've showed it.
They haven't really.
Yeah.
Just only kind of when you get the choice to insult the guy who's trying to bottle her.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And I wondered if that's what it was, but it seemed more like just part of the choice-based thing. Because you'll notice, like, at one point you try to apologize and he says not good enough, so then you just go to insult. So I don't think it's like its own special standalone thing. I don't know if they've showed that yet.
Yeah.
So from what they've said about the backtalk system is it's Chloe's fiery tongue, and what it is, because since there's absolutely no time powers,
I just choked
what
on
it
my
is-
drink. Because don't worry. No one needs to know.
Move along.
I don't know. Maybe I'm picking up. Anyway, so what it is the. Okay, you just fucking derailed me.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about how backtalk works.
Fiery
Yes.
tongue.
Okay. So the way that it works is because there's no time mechanics whatsoever. So you can't rewind and redo a choice. So any choice that you make will be final, and it will have precedent on other things that come up.
Right.
And the way the backtalk system will work is you can either escalate situations to do something, or you can try to de-escalate
Try and control it.
the situation in order to like kind of control the what happens in the game.
Yeah.
And so if you do something like, I don't know, so like if you say something to someone and you kind of escalated the situation, it might come back to bite you later, but you might have an opportunity with the backtalk system to de-escalate it or escalate it even further, depending on how you want to play the game. So it seems like it plays into the whole StoryForge thing with like the callbacks. And so it seems like it's going to be very much like you have to like kind of keep up with what you've said prior, because with the backtalk system, since Chloe is so like short-tempered and stuff, or can be, there might be opportunities where like you can like instigate fights or something like that. So it's going to be along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just wanted to call out like the developers of Deck 9. I mean, there's a lot that I love about this game from what I've seen, but one thing is that I love that the prequel, for one, I'm glad they decided to make it because it gives us so much more backstory on Chloe and Rachel and all that. But I love that it came after season 1, because if you think about it, if you're somebody who can relate to Max, which, you know, I pretty much can, and you're kind of timid and shy, and then you go through the story of season 1 and you become more and more confident, now you have a chance to play as Chloe, who's brash and, you know, just plows through everybody and doesn't really give a shit about anything. So now it's like you have the chance to like step outside of that. I think that's so cool, and I'm like so excited to do pretty much the opposite of what I did in season 1 and just, you know, be a totally different person. Yeah, exactly.
See, for me, as someone who really did relate to Chloe, that's kind of why I know it's going to mess me up a lot, because I know that where Chloe's kind of reactions and feelings come from, so seeing her go through them is going to bring back some very painful things for me, but I'm excited to see it as well, because it's something that helped me a lot in the first game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be extreme. It's gonna be an emotional game,
It's
like
going to be
extremely.
a tough one.
Because knowing it's kind of the end for for Chloe's story, as well as Max and like everyone at Arcadia Bay, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've only said that Nathan and Jefferson aren't in Blackwell, right?
Nathan
and Kate.
Kate and
Oh,
Jefferson.
Kate's gone as well.
Kate and Jefferson. Yeah.
Oh, Kate and Jefferson. So
I'm gonna
right,
go-
because Nate's in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and presume that Warren isn't going to be in it either, just because he would be very young. He would be 13.
He would be like 13.
He'd be 13.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So yeah, he probably isn't in Blackwell yet.
Mhm.
I do think we probably will have Victoria.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to see Victoria.
We're gonna get some Primo Joyce, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
saw
I think
that
there's a
with David.
screenshot of her.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any. I wonder if there. I know in the trailer there's one part that is. I'm guessing it's a dream sequence because we know Chloe wasn't present for it.
Yeah,
But Chloe's in the
William.
backseat of William's truck as he gets in the accident.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering
Right.
if there's going to be like some like William flashbacks
Or like
and stuff, which would
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
I'm thinking that
I'm
will
sure
be.
there will be.
Which makes
Yeah, that
me...
does seem.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Which makes me wonder whether we'll see any Max flashbacks, but we'll probably get into this later, but with the farewell episode in mind, I don't know if we will.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
I don't know. It's possible. I mean, I think they very carefully worded it and said that you would only have the chance to play as Max in the farewell episode, but we do know that there will be letters to her and callbacks to her. So I don't know. I'm gonna be optimistic and say anything's possible.
With them saying Max's presence is always felt throughout the game, I don't think it's that far fetched to assume that there will be like some like thinking back on like the childhood with Max and stuff
and,
like that.
Like even
Yeah.
I have a bit of a hunch, and if this is gonna sound dumb, I really hope that like Chloe is like sitting in a room looking at the image of Max and Chloe as pirates. That's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping for that.
Especially because in one of the screenshots you can see the pirate hat in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, isn't there some parts in the main game where you're playing as Max that, if I think I remember the first time you go to Chloe's house.
Oh yeah, when you sit in the garden and you hear dialogue from when they were younger.
Right, yeah, you
Yeah.
hear like echoes,
Yeah.
memories. I wonder if they'll have any of that, if they're able
I
to
hope so.
Yeah,
they're
me
able
too.
to get Max in. Yeah.
They did say that there will be moments of calm in the game because that's one of the additional things that you get with the deluxe edition
mixtape mode.
is the mixtape mode, which mixtape mode allows you to out of all the licensed tracks in the game, it allows you to kind of make a mix for yourself. So when you go to a moment of calm, you'll hear that in the background or behind whatever Chloe's thinking or speaking. So it just allows you to kind of like you can like if there's particular songs that you really like, you can make a mix of it for like Chloe to listen to, essentially.
That's genius.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. And then I'm sure, as was with the with season 1, I'm sure at the very least on Spotify there will be an official soundtrack list for all the songs. And then possibly they haven't said anything, but I'm imagining if they do, if it's successful, if Before the Storm is successful, they'll have like a physical edition and probably some collector's items to go with the collector's edition,
Like
as well.
like an official soundtrack CD.
Yeah,
Right.
Like they did with
for
Season 1.
Yeah. Season 1.
I love that CD. Like the cover makes me so happy.
Yeah, the cover's really, really nice. So cute, especially because we see that little mixtape in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Pirate Power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I currently have it in my car because I need easy listening on my way to work in the morning.
What about the Life is Strange soundtrack? Is easy listening. I cry to it.
Well, I mean, the songs are pretty nice.
Yeah, true.
They're not too violent for my delicate morning ears.
Yeah, it's good driving music. I usually put it on if I'm like driving through the mountains.
I listen to Master of Puppets every time I go into work. Because I know I have to go obey my master.
Actually, I was listening to Numbers by Daughter all the way into work today. Because
that's such a good song.
Oh, no.
yeah, I'm a huge Daughter fan as well, so when I heard her in the trailer, I was like, woo! Yeah, I was just listening to that on repeat, and it just really makes me sad, but it's the kind of therapeutic sad where I listen to it, and I'm just like, I feel this, and that's okay.
Yeah. Like that feeling when you know you need to like let out a good cry, and it just feels good.
Yeah.
I'm looking up. I'm trying to find what song it is. I've listened to a couple of Daughter's songs.
The thing
before.
the thing is, I have another song that I relate from Daughter that I relate to a video game, and it's Run by Daughter. I really relate that to The Last of Us.
Okay, Youth is the one that I heard.
Good song.
And I was a big fan of it, and I kind of just forgot to look up more of their stuff. But so someone told me on Twitter what the song was, and but man, it's such a good song.
Yeah, it really the feel was on point.
Yeah.
I think I've only watched the reveal trailer once because I'm trying to keep myself as fresh as possible. I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to watch any of the trailers and stuff, which is why.
Yeah, it's cool that you say that, Zach, because my friend who introduced me to the game, to Life is Strange Season 1, I was texting him about it like the whole time, like when all of the hype was going on in E3, and I was like sending him all the links to the trailer and the gameplay and all that, and he was like, he pretty much told me that he turned off the gameplay after like 5 minutes because he couldn't do it. I think it was like as soon as he saw Rachel, and he was just like, no, I can't. Like, and it was for the same reason. Like, he doesn't want to. He said it's not so much about spoilers; it's about like not wanting to, get the feeling too soon. He wants it to
to keep the experience fresh for when he plays it.
Right.
Yeah, and, you want your first impression to be when you're actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Right.
With the editing of the song in the trailer is really carefully picked out as well. They picked out very relevant lyrics. Like they skipped out 2 lines from the beginning of the song and just went in straight to "Follow me home" and find someone who can mend you and stuff like that. And it's just it's very relevant lyrics, and that's very nice thinking.
Yeah,
I believe Scott Blows, which is his name, and not my opinion on him.
Thank you for clarifying.
I believe he made that trailer. He was the former community manager. He left Square Enix, and then he came back, and now he's an actual like brand manager. So Toby is the community manager. Scott is the brand manager. I believe he tweeted something about saying that like he's the one that made that trailer.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's very, very excellently done. Which I think a lot of their trailers have been really well done.
Yeah.
Like across the board from season 1 and also now.
Something about that song as well in particular, there's like an instrumental bit. It's the bit where it shows I want to say the credits, like the cover I guess, in the trailer, and it's very the sounds in it are very similar to the kind of sounds you'd hear whilst you were rewinding in the first game. So I thought that fit really nicely.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, like it's such a perfect song choice. Like the line, like from the chorus, like "I'd feel numb in this kingdom" is like so like it's so apropos and just apt for Chloe. Yeah, and like everything that she's going through. We should probably address the elephant in the room. I know it's a big one, but they said, as far as they're aware, there will not be bottle collecting.
Yeah. Which,
What a
God.
blessing.
I feel like that was the definitive mark of the series. Without it, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be empty for me. I'm sorry, guys.
That was where the real
an
meat of the
empty
game
bottle.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
at least Zach found out we will have blueberry amount of hot dog man. So.
Yeah.
Exactly, blueberry amounts. If you listen to this Mr. Web Pickersgill, co-director, I want to know about Hot Dog Man, and I demand answers.
People demand hot dog man.
I believe they said
I know
during the live
he makes appearances on shirts.
Yeah.
I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Will he be in a dream sequence?
It's When You Were Young by The Killers is playing. And when the line says he doesn't look a thing like Jesus, but he talks like a gentleman, Hot Dog Man will walk into the room smiling with his thumbs up. And then he'll just say woot.
Yeah.
And then he leaves
And
as quickly
if
as
that
he
is
arrived.
not in the game, I guarantee you the game will fail.
So
There's your key to success.
I'm not sure what would be better if you just thought of that now, or if you've been thinking about it this whole week.
The Killers tie-in I thought of just now, but I have been thinking about Hot Dog Man a lot. I think about Hot Dog Man a lot.
I feel like
pretty daily. I mean,
I feel like one of my favorite things that ever came out of Hot Dog Man is there's a Vine out there by I think their
Is it
name
Chloe's Pirate Booty?
Yes, where it's
Yeah.
playing a song whilst the Hot Dog Man is doing some.
Oh, some
JoJo
sexy
poses.
poses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I work in a grocery store, and that song comes on the grocery store like radio, and I can't help but thinking about Hot Dog Man every time it plays. So I do think about him almost on a daily basis.
He's so
I'm
hot
not
and
lying
handsome
when
as
I say
hell, or
that.
whatever. Or he's so bad and handsome. That
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
It's so bad and handsome as hell.
All right. Yeah. Every time it comes on,
sorry, I
it's
didn't
all
know what
think
song you're
about.
talking. Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right, no, it's and handsome as hell. He's so bad, but he does it so well.
Yeah,
There you
he's
go.
so tall and handsome as hell.
so Zach.
So tall. Yeah, okay.
So Zach.
I hope that appears on the Before the Storm soundtrack.
So Zach, when are you
Yeah.
cosplaying as Hot Dog Man?
Every day, actually. Before I go to bed. That's what I do.
You cosplay before bed.
It's a great.
Allow me to slip into something more comfortable. Comes back in a hot dog man suit.
We went off on a tangent.
I just have this image of Zach just like squirting ketchup all over himself.
I mean, it wouldn't be an incorrect image. I would actually love to cosplay Hot Dog Man. I'll work on that.
Just please do it.
Yeah.
Has anybody done that yet?
No, I don't
Nobody
think so.
do that.
I don't
I'm
think-
trademarking it.
I don't think they have. I haven't seen it.
I've said that if ever we got to a point where there was like a convention or something like that and Blackwell Podcast has a panel, I would like purposefully not be there in the beginning, but I would show up like as it was starting in a hot dog man suit,
But
like walking
totally
from the
casual.
back.
I think
Yeah.
all of us have to do that. Just the Hot Dog
Play
Man
some-
panel, and the only thing we can say is woot.
We'll play intro music as you enter.
Yeah.
The John
No, you have to
Cena
play Wildest Dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
we got a game plan
before
for
the
next
storm.
year.
It'll be like a wrestling entrance.
Welcome to the Blackwell Hot Dog Cast.
Yeah.
Where we love Life is Strange more than Zach loves Hot Dog Man.
There you go.
I think that's debatable.
Impossible.
It's close. I don't think we have an actual metric to measure it, so I don't know if we'll ever have an answer.
At least 12.
At least Blueberry.
Yeah. 12 and a
Coming
half
back
hot
full
dogs.
circle.
So we do know that Before the Storm will be available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yes.
There hasn't been any mention if it will be available on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. I'm gonna venture a guess and say no.
Yeah.
And also there's no There's no word of it being on Switch, although I think it would be really cool for it to be on Switch.
I would like to cry on the go, please. Thank you.
In between my classes, I would really like to just sit down and weep in the hallway.
I would really like to just fuck myself up on my lunch break. I'd appreciate that.
It's like those memes of like people like sitting at a desk with like the book open. It's like you thought like I was studying, but I was actually crying my eyes out. It's just fucking like Life is Strange on the Switch or something.
Yeah.
Like, what is up with that guy? He's always crying in class. I don't know. I guess he just he just really loves psychology.
Like just showing up to university at the parties and being like, "Yo, I brought the Switch," and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, you got MK8," and I'm like,
Not exactly.
And then it just becomes a crying party where everybody sits around and yeah, it's fun stuff.
Hey, you guys want to get real fucked up? Hell yeah, bro! All right, check it. Life is Strange before the storm.
It's the new drug.
We need to get back on track. Holy shit.
The languages.
Go ahead.
The languages that the game will be available in are French, German, Italian, Spanish, both Mexican dialect and Spanish dialect, Portuguese, and simplified Chinese. So I'm not sure. I'm guessing that will be subtitle language, and because I don't think that they've hired a multitude of voice actors that speak all those.
I don't know though, because I've
seen
seen clips of season 1 in Spanish on YouTube before. But I guess I don't know. Doesn't
I'll
necessarily.
have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I know that season 1 got a Japanese release.
Yeah. Right. I was about to say that. It was like a post-launch thing. Right.
And they hired separate voice actors for that, which I would really like to. I need to watch some playthroughs of that just to get a feel for the voice acting in that. I won't know what they're saying, but well, I mean, I will know because I played the game, but I won't know exactly what they're saying.
Life is Strange anime opening.
Nani?
While we were talking about the trailer, I meant to bring up. What do you think about the crow or the raven? Like, I want to say it's just like sort of an omen of death, but I feel like there could be more to it. Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie. You think about the Crow 2 sucked.
About the Crow. I haven't seen anything on it, so I can't talk about this.
Right. Well, you'll see it.
No, he was in the reveal trailer, right? He landed on the periscope thing on the mountaintop.
Yeah, and I think he's on Chloe's windowsill. Yeah. And I think you see him once during the gameplay, right? When Chloe and Rachel are at the park.
I believe so.
He must be like the analog of the butterfly or the doe, I guess.
With Grill Dad.
Could be.
Yeah.
Grill Dad, yeah.
Oh, Zach. So
I think the end of the gameplay actually transitions back into the trailer.
Yeah.
So it has the 20 minutes of gameplay, and then there at the end, it transitions back into the reveal trailer.
With a few clips as well.
Oh, you mean like when she says "fuck this place" and then it goes into the montage? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looks at the camera, says "fuck this place," and then the before the storm fades in. I'm just kidding. It doesn't happen.
And then suddenly, out of nowhere, the storm arrives. Just to fuck with people.
I wonder who they got to voice the storm this time.
It's me. I'm sorry.
So Rihanna DeVries is going to be Chloe's voice actress, as well as her motion capture actress. And as far as the other episodes go, they've only hired voice actors for episode 1. They haven't, because they're still working on episode 1. So they will do that, I guess, as they begin work on episode 2, they'll hire the voice actors for episode 2, etc.
Yeah. We still don't know who's voicing Rachel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She's really good, though. I love her voice.
Yeah, really good.
I just want to take a moment to talk about how, the show, Rachel is fucking slaying, man. That's such a good look.
Oh, she was so good.
Can we
Holy
take a moment
shit.
to appreciate when they're leaving?
The
Of course.
middle finger.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
online sensation. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's so simple and it just, it's beautiful. I love it.
Oh, that gave me like 10 extra years of my life.
I think it shows, like, Chloe's trying to be a little bit more like Rachel, but trying to add her own twist to it to be a little bit more like herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool, the dynamic that they have from what we can see so far, because in season 1, you kind of got the impression that Max is like, she's trying to make amends with Chloe and also sort of like live up to like her, coolness and like try and keep up with her. And I feel like the roles are reversed now. Like Chloe's like
That's
trying to keep up
exactly
with
what I was
Rachel.
about to say.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, these are going to be really formative years for Chloe. That we as the player will form, having control of Chloe. So it is going to be very, very interesting to see.
Yeah, and a lot can happen in 3 days.
I want to see how
Yeah.
much Chloe did pick up from Rachel. How much
Yeah.
of her...
I have a theory that Rachel will be the one that got Chloe to say hella a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I think I want to. If that is what happens, called it. If that isn't what happens, I didn't even say that. Who said that? You're dumb.
I don't want to...
We'll retroactively edit that out.
So yeah, I'll censor it with just a big bleep. I don't want to like toot my own horn here, but I remember when
Toot away.
me and Joey, when we were doing the 3rd episode of the podcast ever, where we were talking about Rachel Amber, I jokingly said, "Yeah, we should get some expansion about talking about Rachel and Chloe a bit more." So I fucking called that. Thank you.
Yeah, to play on that, I did post on Tumblr about that and messaged many people saying that that's what I'd want to see if they made another game, and so me and Jamie were on the fucking ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just like Zachary.
Oh.
My uncle works at Deck 9, and he said that
He's gonna
the
ban.
whole reason they're doing this is because of me.
Oh.
This is quickly becoming 2 truths and a lie.
Oh boy.
So, listeners, you decide which the 2 truths and the lie are.
So, I kind of want to bring something up that we kind of touched about a little bit. There was, we said that each episode is going to be free. There's going to be 3 episodes.
Right.
We should say that how long the episodes are going to take to play, which is going to be about 2 hours.
Right. So each episode is going to be between 2 to 3 hours of playtime, depending on how much time you take with it. I'm going to try to take as much time with it to just soak as much of it in as possible. And so in total, between the 3 main story of Before the Storm episodes, you'll see 6 to 9 hours of gameplay.
Yes.
It's not bad. I mean,
so
season 1 it was about 2 hours to beat an episode anyway, right?
Except for
Yeah,
like,
so it's like a
Dark
little
Room, which is
over
like-
half of what the first game will be, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, to specify, we have 3 episodes, and then we have a 4th one, but it's not... it's a farewell episode, and it is
I have a feeling that
not-
one's going to be really short, like 20 minutes or something.
Oh,
But
really?
I could be totally wrong.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I expect it to be like a mini-sode, but maybe not.
I hope it's at least an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
same.
like that.
Something
If it was,
that will kind of wrap things up nicely.
Yeah.
Like not leaving really any loose ends for Max.
And let's talk about Farewell a little bit.
Oh yeah.
The
let's.
title and what that might entail. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a farewell of a young Max leaving Arcadia Bay?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
That's what you think?
I
100%.
think so. Yeah.
I have no
Have they
doubt.
not? Have they not said what it's going to be?
Not-
Only that it's as
No.
Not
Max?
exactly, no. They
Well-
kind of hinted
They
at
said-
some shit. But
Yeah, they hinted at it.
Well, it's not going to be post season 1.
no, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah,
No,
that
no,
would
no,
make
Because
sense.
that's going to...
They said it's
Yeah, that's
gonna.
going to...
They said it's
canonize an
definitely
ending.
gonna be a younger Max,
Oh, okay.
And they kind of hinted at it being when Max leaves Arcadia Bay, so...
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, that's what I was expecting from it as well.
Because Chris Floyd was talking about it with Toby, who was doing the live stream during E3 how many days was it ago? About 4 now? 3 or 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know. I have no concept of time.
Wait, I can check.
How appropriate. I feel like... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It was on Wednesday.
My dudes.
So 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
As of time of recording, not of time of release.
Yeah, I definitely think it's got to be her leaving.
Yeah, because I feel like the
Arcadia
only
Bay.
other option would be her leaving to go back to Arcadia Bay.
Right.
That wouldn't really have
Leaving
anything to do
Seattle.
with Chloe. So-
Yeah.
I could see that happening. Maybe it'll bridge both of those gaps. Maybe it'll, be leaving Arcadia Bay and then a bit of a time jump, and then it ends with returning right where.
See,
Just
that
like
kind of...
however long
Picking up
before
into episode
episode 1, yeah.
That kind of destroys my theory about how the episode 3 is going to end, though. So... Because
Well,
my
what's your
theory
theory?
was...
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That we see Max pull up to Blackwell at the end.
Oh, right.
Just right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it very well could happen. They could do that time jump and still have the farewell episode.
True.
Yeah, I think it's also something to consider that not everybody will be playing Farewell, so it can't. Yeah, it shouldn't contain anything like super, super important. Right? It's just for people who want to see Max again. So I don't know, but yeah, I kind of subscribe to the whole like Rogue One theory. I was just gonna like flow seamlessly into season 1, but we'll see.
I have a theory about the entire game.
What's that?
Everything is okay, and there are no consequences, which are negative whatsoever. Please,
Yeah.
There will be no consequences for
Everything's
these actions.
beautiful.
Yes.
And nothing
everything's everything's fine.
Well, I kind of...
Thank you, Vonnegut.
I kind of actually do have a theory. I talked about it in the group chat with you guys. With the whole Chloe scheduling what she's doing on her hands that I noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Basically, in a few shots from the gameplay, you can see that Chloe has stuff written on her hands. And it seems to be stuff like, for example, one of them says, talk to Goth, and then in quotation marks, global, and meet the band, or get to the band, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just her kind of saying stuff she needs to do. So maybe how in Max's journal you kind of had her saying what she needed to do, and that was kind of a log for events that people needed to do and targets they needed to reach. And maybe that's kind of how players can now look at what they need to do.
Like the kind of directing of what the player needs to do next.
Yeah.
That's
not like forcing
quest
them,
log.
but like, you've been in this one spot for 2 hours. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
need to go somewhere else.
You've been
That would be
petting that
really
dog
cool,
for way
actually,
too
now
long.
you bring that up. No, it's like, yeah, it'd be really cool if it was like GoldenEye 007 for N64, where you could like, where he goes to look at his watch and see your mission objectives, but you're just looking at your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
cool.
interesting. Yeah, so we see. Here, let me just find the image real quick. You guys keep talking while I pull that up.
Hello.
So about that hot dog, man.
Yeah.
It's a real look.
So I guess
Man, there was... Go ahead,
No,
Jake.
go ahead. I was gonna transition.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a complete thought, so you go.
I was gonna talk about Hot Dog Man a little bit.
Go for it. I'm in.
Mainly, they did say Hot Dog Man is returning, so he's probably going to be in like a few more images in the background.
I want him to appear... I want there to be a scene where you're like in Chloe's house or whatever, and he's on the living room TV, like a TV show.
Oh yeah,
That's what I want.
kind of like
I want him
how the
to appear in a cartoon.
like he was on the airplane screen in episode 5 on the plane.
Yeah.
Right. And then I want to be able to sit... I want that couch to be a moment of calm where I can sit
And watch Hot Dog Man.
In a way, I kind of want to, in the farewell episode, I don't think we'll see it, but I'd really like to see them playing as pirates, or like how they met or something like that. It's just something I wrote.
Oh man, what if the farewell episode is just this like memory lane gut punch of an episode?
Oh,
Like,
well, they said it is going to be
goes
very
through, like,
emotional.
their whole
Yeah.
childhood.
Oh, kind of
and
like
then
an
it ends
episode
with the
5?
goodbye.
Yeah, I was going to say the
Yeah.
same, Jamie.
No.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
would be brutal.
I would not be surprised because, again, they said it is going to be very emotional. Which even them just saying that gets me kind of like emotional.
Yeah,
Just
same.
hearing it.
Like just thinking what it's going to be. So it looks like on the back of her hand, it says "Get to the band," and then on the inside of her hand, on her palm, it says "Lock in," LOCEN, which is it's Latin, but I imagine here was my theory on it is that that's the name of like the secret club or whatever where the band is playing, because "lock in" is like short in Latin for I forget what the full thing is, but it's location or whatever. But lock in, when you say it out loud, it sounds like a LOCKIN. It's a
Right.
very like I can definitely see a venue, especially a secret venue, being named that.
Calling themselves that. Yeah, that's what I was
yeah.
gonna say.
It says missing, which we couldn't really come up with anything what that might be.
I kind of did, but it was debunked by Joey.
What was?
Just about how maybe, because obviously we know Jefferson had other victims, but Jefferson wasn't really there, so we know that he wasn't in Blackwell now, so it's kind of debunked
He
that.
hasn't arrived in Arcadia
Yeah.
Bay yet.
So never mind. I was just thinking maybe someone could be talking about a girl who's gone missing prior to Rachel Amber.
What if he arrived in episode
Right.
3?
No,
Could be.
stay away.
Well, they said that he won't be in it.
Yeah, but still, what if?
Yeah,
That'd be
Little
bad.
bit of a
that
pun.
was the original
Yeah.
title of the game.
Also, sorry, regarding the writing on the hands, I have a point to make. Is Chloe not left-handed originally?
She is.
Yeah, see, she wrote on her left hand, though, so that means she'd be writing with her right hand.
I never noticed that she was left-handed. Yeah.
Maybe she's ambidextrous.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Watch them.
Or maybe someone else wrote it on her hand.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
Rachel.
could be possible. Rachel could have wrote it.
Watch them
Or
do
maybe
like
that's an
what they
inconsistency
did with
that they need to fix.
Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, where they switched it and to the Wii, I think,
because
and they just mirrored everything.
Yeah, because they the majority of they did like some study, and the majority of players were like right-handed.
Right.
So they made the controls right-handed for the Wii version of Twilight Princess,
Hmm.
and because playing with like the motion controls.
Right.
And so that missing also could tie into the lock in. It could have something to do with that as well. And then it also says chillax with goth, global, and global is in quotation marks. So I'm thinking those are probably nicknames for people.
Yeah, I think Global might be a nickname. It sounds like a nickname someone would use.
And then also the fact that it says chillax with them. So
Yeah. It's interesting.
I was just thinking. I wonder if have they said that Chloe will be like the only, like you'll only play as Chloe? What if you switch to Rachel for episode 3 or something?
I think they said. I'm not too sure though.
yeah, I know they said that like you take control of Chloe, but they haven't mentioned if they're gonna have
I wonder if
take
they
control
mean
of someone else.
for the entire. If they mean you'll be playing as Chloe for the entirety of Before the Storm, or if they're only talking about episode 1 right now. Because I would like to see. I'm just curious if, like, I don't know, the whole fact that Rachel had this like weird spirit deer that hunts you, that stalks you as Max, and like lures you to her grave and stuff. It makes me think that Rachel has like some kind of supernatural significance, and I'm curious if Before the Storm is going to have any more details about like why all of the supernatural stuff happens. It would be really interesting to play as Rachel for an episode, and like maybe Chloe isn't around, and like because obviously Chloe doesn't know anything about it, or else she would have said something in season 1. So maybe you plays Rachel on her own for a little while, and maybe you see some of the stuff that Rachel figures out, but she never tells it to Chloe.
Yeah, talking about that, you mentioned spirit animals, and I'm still not 100% sure what spirit animal does belong to Rachel Amber. Because you got the blue jay, you got some people think that the butterfly belongs to her and not Chloe.
I always feel like the butterfly is like its own thing. Like, it's not attached to anyone. I do feel like the doe is attached to Rachel.
But then you always get Max kind of tied in with the doe as well.
Yeah, I always thought the doe was Max and the butterfly was Chloe, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there are these weird, like, parallels, but I don't know, just the fact that the doe always was like trying to lead you to Rachel's grave, and you see it around Rachel's grave.
Yeah.
It makes me think that it's tied to her somehow. But yeah, there is stuff like Max wears, like the doe t-shirt and stuff.
Yeah. And also...
Sorry,
you carry on, Joey.
No, go ahead.
Just about supernatural things. Obviously, I think it must be a dream bit that Chloe's having. You see a little bit of Chloe. She's got her hand against a glass window, and there's someone else's hand, which I'm going to presume is Rachel's. But like, I don't know. That was interesting to me. I'd like to see what that is.
I'll have to rewatch that. I don't remember that scene.
It's really short. Really short.
I'll check it out.
I'm thinking with the whole like supernatural stuff that happens, that was probably, well, here's just my theory on it. Is like that was all like sort of God damn it, I cannot remember words. Like periphery effects
from the powers manifesting.
From the powers that Max gets. And so like while it's possible that they are still tied to the characters, it wasn't so much that like anybody had control over them or like Rachel had, but it was more so like because Max had unlocked this thing that was like kind of like delving in a little bit into the like mysticism of Arcadia Bay, whatever powers may have, like if there was any residual powers in Arcadia Bay or anything like that. And so like she was able to see this because of like the powers that she got.
Right. Yeah, I thought about that too. That they are just a byproduct of the powers, and that they're all mostly tied to Max, but they might have some loose connections with people around her.
Talking about superpowers, I think they said that they didn't want to give... I might be saying this wrong, I don't know whether this is 100% correct, but I think they said they didn't want a whole town full of superheroes. They wanted that to be kind of Max's thing. They didn't want Arcadia Bay to have all these hidden people with their powers and stuff, especially because Chloe would probably be aware of that before Max came along, and she never mentioned like hearing about anyone else having powers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. I mean, I think that would definitely ruin the fun a little bit if there were a bunch of superhumans running around.
Kind of remind me of like Heroes, where like everyone's power just happens out of convenience for the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can understand why they didn't give Chloe powers, but I'm curious if, like, I don't know, I would think it would be interesting if Rachel, like, has had powers, like, almost her whole life, but, like, she doesn't tell anybody, you know, she's always, like, kept them to herself, and that's why Chloe never knew about it.
I mean, that would be interesting, and it would kind of explain why she's, well, I guess you still haven't seen the gameplay, but she's really secretive near the end, and she's not opening up to Chloe about what's bothering her. So,
yeah, maybe.
Right. I think that's going to have something to do with her family.
Yeah.
Family issues.
I'm thinking that too.
Family mystery.
Some interesting things that we saw from the gameplay footage is we see Chloe pulls a handbrake in order to do something, and the car rolls forward into what looks to be the trucker from season 1's vehicle. The asshole trucker, and because the guy, like the band manager or whatever he is, the merch guy or whatever he is, you see him arguing with the trucker, what looks to be the trucker.
There's another thing that I've noticed too with the T-shirts that are on sale in the trailer. That Scott actually designed one of them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lighter which says Firewalk on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was him.
It's good. Yeah. That was his design. Which is a play on Fire Walk With Me, I'm sure.
Twin Peaks.
Which was the prequel of Twin Peaks. So I'm sure there's going to be some parallels there, too.
No, he's going to sneak in those inspiration references.
Mm-hmm.
We also see Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank's in it, huh?
He seems...
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother about Frank, actually, because my brother really likes Frank. He likes the beans meme. And just, even from the little clip that we've seen a side of Frank that we're not used to seeing. He's much easier going with Chloe. He doesn't seem to be as furious with her, probably because she doesn't have as much debt. We see she does have debt towards him, but not as much.
Right.
And
the fact of that is why he's kind of a bit more calm is the fact that Rachel isn't missing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Definitely.
We also see... Sorry.
Oh, no, you...
I was just going to say that we see a vulnerable side to him in the sense of when Chloe says, "You're a good man," and he says, no, I'm not. My brother, I was talking to my brother about it, and he kind of said, we were just kind of talking, and one of us said that it was, maybe it's because he's aware that he's just, like, out here selling drugs to 16-year-old girls and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree about the vulnerable side. And he's also, like... I mean, I think he always had, like, sort of this subtle air of compassion, even when he was being violent. But you see it more now.
Because there was the whole stuff about him, like, with the rescue dogs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they've always kind of built him up as this gentle guy. He's just a little callous to the people he doesn't really know.
Right.
I would have been surprised if Frank wasn't in this, to be honest, because he plays such a crucial point between the relationship between Chloe and Rachel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of nice to actually see that he'll be in there.
I like how he helps him escape, too. It was a nice touch.
I'm trying to remember what happened in the gameplay, because I haven't really watched it since.
We do actually...
Is Pompidou in it?
No.
We also...
There is
a dog, though. There is a dog. There's a pit bull.
Okay. Better.
You can pet the dog.
You can pet the dog, but better than no dogs.
We do see Frank actually defend Rachel and Chloe when the two assholes are coming down and chasing Chloe and Rachel, and then Frank's like, haha, lol, don't think so, fam. And Chloe, like, smiles to him in a kind of like, hey, thank you way. So it's nice to see what their relationship was before, like, the kind of way, when you try and convince, Frank to give you the list of his clients, and you kind of see Chloe be a bit more calm with him and be like, hey, Frank, come on, do this for Rachel. And she's kind of talking to him, in a way, showing that they had a friendship at some point, so it's quite nice to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And it's also evident, like, when Chloe's in Before the Storm in the gameplay, when she's buying weed off of him, and she's like flashing that wad of cash. He's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? Like, you could get in trouble for that." Like, he obviously cares about her.
It's never really. What's our thoughts on how old Frank is? And obviously he's older than Chloe.
I think he's like a burnout, so it makes him look older than he is, but I want to say like mid-30s, maybe.
Really? I was thinking maybe late 20s.
I was thinking 20s as well.
Really?
I was thinking... Yeah, I've always thought like mid-20s.
Huh.
Like, he's definitely a lot older. Well, not a lot older, but he's definitely a few years older, but I don't think he's... I never thought he was over 30 for sure.
Yeah, that also makes me curious about when he started dating Rachel.
Yeah, that does make it a little weird.
Just because I know there's different ages of consent around the USA. I don't know what it is for Oregon or anything like that. So
we can probably assume. that they're going to go the safe route, and Rachel was 18.
Yeah.
17, 18 before becoming like romantically involved with Frank.
Yeah,
but they were probably friends. Because it is remarked in season 1 that according to Officer Barry, that Frank used to be a Blackwell student.
Yeah.
Probably a
that.
dropout. And so I'm thinking like mid to late 20s at the most.
Yeah, I think mid 30s was jumping it a lot. I think my initial impression was like 32, but maybe even that's off. I'm sure it says it somewhere, shouldn't it?
I want to say 28. I don't know why.
It doesn't have. There's no in season 1. There's nothing to suggest his age, but we might get that in the prequel.
Yeah. I honestly have no idea because I looked like an image of him in season 1 and the prequel to kind of like get an idea on the time gap. Because noticeably, with people, there's kind of like a rough age acceleration process, I guess, between like a certain amount of age when you get hit like a peak age, right? You start aging a lot quicker. So kind of like taking that into account, I'm probably gonna have to say late 20s ish because I don't think he hit that peak yet.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see. I'm sure, like if this is the first time Chloe's meeting him in Before the Storm, I'm sure there might be a dialogue where she asks about him. You know.
Yeah.
So collectively, we'll reach a median of about 28, 29.
Yeah, we'll say somewhere around there. And I've always thought Frank, if I were to ever cosplay a Life is Strange character, it would be Frank.
It would be cool.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that.
Frank is Frank won me over in season 1, and I've talked about it a little bit, but with his affinity for like dogs and like saving dogs from bad situations and stuff like that, and just his that really spoke to me.
Yeah,
because like I've definitely been a very like cold and callous and rough around the edges person, but like I've always had like a soft spot for dogs, so that like really resonated with me.
I think Frank is actually one of my favorite characters. I think he's very interesting, and that's why I'm excited to see more of him.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be cool to see a lot more Frank in Before the Storm.
Indeterminate as of now whether we will see Frank's beans.
I hope so.
I'm sure we will.
But
there's got to be a reference.
Yeah, they would be remiss to.
There's going to be beans in bottles.
I think someone might have said.
Episode.
That's episode 2.
I think I saw some. Oh yes, that was Toby on. I think there was a Reddit AMA, and someone asked whether we were going to see any beans, and I'm pretty sure Toby said he made a funny joke. I think, but he hinted that there will be more beans. So.
Oh yeah, he said. I remember now. He said that we don't know how many beans there will be, or something, or we don't know the number of beans. Here,
there will be beans. How many? We are not sure.
At least 12.
Be beans.
At least blueberry beans.
Yeah. That's gonna be a fucking running gag now, isn't it? At least blueberries.
Can our like resident Photoshop expert do a "There Will Be Blood" like spoof with "There Will Be Beans," and just have Frank sitting on the?
Oh, how's that not been done before? All right. I'm trying to find.
I'm kind of just trying to read over my notes here to see what we haven't really touched on.
I'm gonna have a look at mine too.
I think we've pretty much touched everything, like note-wise.
They have said. I mean, I figured this is a given, but they have said there will be multiple endings based on choices.
Which is interesting to say multiple, because there were only 2 major endings in season 1.
2 is multiple.
True, yes, but I guess they wouldn't say. I guess they wouldn't say there will be 2 endings. Like that would just be dumb.
I had that same exact thought. I was like, multiple? Does that mean more than 2? And then I was like, wait, 2 is multiple.
Just something I just want to quickly mention is that there's some nice parallels so far that we've seen with I think it's a screenshot of Rachel and Chloe walking on the train tracks together, and that's obviously a parallel to seeing Max and Chloe walking on the train tracks together.
For sure.
And then I think someone on Twitter, I would tag you guys in it with the whole camera thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So I was looking over this the Q&A that Toby did on Reddit, and so again, going back to availability, right now they are just focusing on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Of course, as we saw from the Microsoft Direct or whatever their E3 thing was called, that it's supposed to be boosted with Xbox One X, but I don't know how much of a boost performance-wise it's really going to get. But but Toby said that it's possible in the future they'll look at bringing it on even the Switch. But right now they're just focusing on bringing those 3 platforms. And also, again, like I said, it's developed in Unity. I said Unreal, but it's developed in Unity. So it's a different engine. And okay, here we go. So they're focusing on bringing the game out digitally, but it said plans for a physical release have not been set yet.
Mm.
Which I think at the time of development release of episodic release of season 1, they probably didn't have public plans for
the collector's edition. Yeah.
So I still think if it's successful enough, we'll probably see a physical.
Most likely. I think that's a safe bet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think really that's about it for what we know right now.
Yeah, because since it was just announced almost a week ago now, it's kind of hard to tell because we only have so much from what we were given at E3 and with the Reddit AMA. So hopefully we'll be able to get more news in the future before episode 1 gets out, hopefully.
Right. And, hopefully people, I know I'm not going to go into it too much, but I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about it, but hopefully people will keep an open mind and just play it before they jump to any conclusions about it, because that's kind of what you should do anyway.
Yeah,
in general,
for sure.
I think it's good to not leap into a game blind, even if it is something that you really love. But if you're unsure about it, wait till it comes out, see what everybody else says, formulate your own opinion from that,
and give
then
give it a go or not. It's all matter on the player.
Decide
really.
what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like to address something whilst we're here. This goes out to Deck 9. So there's a little bit of controversy that I've seen on Tumblr. People are a bit worried about the LGBT representation. I don't want to go too much into that, just because it's too much. So Deck 9, give us gays and don't hurt them, because people will not be happy, and we have there's a large LGBT following, and I trust you guys to do well with it. I just want to make sure you hear it, because I don't want to have to go out there guns blazing and defending every move, because that has happened to me previously. But yeah, no, I trust everything that you're gonna do with it. Just give us the gays and make it good. That's all we want.
And protect them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's everything regarding Before the Storm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
That's all I got.
Alright, so since that's everything Before the Storm, let's talk about our schedule for the upcoming episodes. So, next episode we've got is the Victoria Chase episode, which will be come out in the next couple of days, which will hopefully, it'll be good. It's a good one. Episode after that is the episode with Zach, which we'll be recording, we won't be recording on the 1st, but it'll come out around then. Zach, would you like to explain what it's going to be about?
Yeah, I don't know if we have a name for it because it's going to be pretty broad, but I think we're just going to talk about time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about Max's powers and maybe go a little bit into chaos theory. Maybe talk about, I don't know, our own weird theories about, like, what it all happens, you know, like, what is the butterfly, why did the powers appear, stuff like that. I think we're just going to go with the flow. I think we're going to start off talking about time control, and time travel, and we're just going to go wherever that leads us.
Okay, yeah. Be like one of our first real episodes kind of talking about mechanics in the game, which will be really interesting to talk about.
Yeah, I know you, Jamie, you want to talk about Life is Strange's representation of time travel as compared to other representations, which I think could be cool.
I'll probably mention some of those in that episode, but keep some like as a backup for if we ever want to go into that detail a little bit more.
Yeah,
so I'll just pick out a few and then kind of mention them at the relevant times during that episode.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So, bit of a peculiar release schedule for the next for this episode and the next two, just because of a few different factors.
Yeah.
So this episode should be up by hopefully you're listening to this by Sunday, June 18th. Victoria will be up by Wednesday, at the latest, Wednesday, the 21st. And then, hopefully, we're going to have a couple of episodes that come out pretty quickly. And it's just because of, we were really excited to talk about before this.
Yeah, we just wanted to do this.
So, yeah.
We should mention the LGBTQ plus episode. We'll go into a little bit more details regarding that next episode with Victoria Chase, and just a reminder that the deadline is the 8th of July.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Guess we got to do some house duty where we got to mention our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically I don't know how to explain it. Fuck.
It helps us. It
helps us cover subscription costs, and any money after expenses will be donating to the Trevor Project this month.
Right. Yeah, and thank you so much to the patrons that we have already.
Their names will be in the credits.
Yep. And if you would like to donate $1 a month, would be greatly appreciated. It helps us again cover costs for our subscriptions, such as SoundCloud, Premiere, etc. And as more information comes out about before the storm, we will of course talk about it. We are very, very close to 4,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I believe just under 20 from what last time I checked.
Oh wow.
We don't have. I think it's 17 or 18 last time I looked. To 4K. So we'll be doing a 4K celebration soon for our YouTube YouTube subscriber count. We recently hit 1,700 on Twitter. So we're a little bit over that now. So big thanks to everybody. It's awesome to see that we still have our fans that have been with us here for a while, and then also we're continuing to grow, so it's exciting for us to see. So thank you all so much, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening.